So, going back to Kansas State, at that time, the Southeastern Conference schools, they weren't recruiting a lot of blacks, were they?
No, no. Uh, I got offers from Tennessee, but it was just an offer
Okay.
because at that time I was a fullback, and so was Kurt Watson. Now lacrosse was a
Yeah.
fullback.
Yeah.
Of course, Kurt Watson went to UT,
Mm-hmm.
and I could, like I said, I could have went to some smaller schools around here, but I chose to go away.
Mm-hmm. So, what was your experience? Was it a positive experience going out there?
It was a growing up experience.
Growing up, because
I guarantee you, because like
you
I
didn't
said,
know anybody out there.
didn't know anybody. Everybody was a new friend.
Mm-hmm.
Never did fly in my life. That one big experience, and getting around into those airport terminals and make sure I got on the right flight.
How often did you come home?
The time I was out there, I probably come home maybe 3 times, 2 or 3 times.
Okay. Yeah, how long were you out there?
I went and finished my freshman year and probably maybe a quarter of my sophomore year.
Okay. So you came back to Loudon.
Yes.
Now, is that when you met Sharon?
No, actually, Sharon and I knew Sharon for a long time. We'd actually went to Bible school together
Okay.
down at Sedan Bible Camp in Spring City, and that was another thing that Dunbar and offered. We had a guy that come from down there that would render Bible study for us for that period of time, learning Bible verses and whatever. Then your reward was you get to go to Bible school and stay a week. So they run a bus from all over, these small communities to go down to Sedan Bible Camp for a week or 2 in the summer.
Pretty nice.
But no, Sharon.
Where did you meet her then? After Bible school.
I've always knew Sharon. Now I used to play baseball a lot with a bunch of friends from Lenore City, and we played different places and practice up there. And more so, I guess, I really got to really meet her probably up in Lenore City.
Okay. How old were you when you all started dating?
Oh me. I think that I had done come home from college and was working up at Yellowtown for a while, and might have met her up at Yellowtown.
Okay.
Then I left Yellowtown and went to Oak Ridge.
Okay. Now, I taught both of your children, Derek and Brittany,
Yes.
and they were great kids. So what lessons did you all try to teach your kids? What were some important lessons for them to be successful?
Well, the biggest thing is what we try to teach them to always respect their elders and make the right choices and do the right things, and keep them involved in something.
Yeah.
And they both played sports, and other than that, they were good kids, real good kids.
Now you get to enjoy their kids. Now.
Yes, and we kept them in church.
Yeah.
We kept them in church.
Now, you also had a great career in the men's softball circuit. So what are your memories when you think of men's softball that you played?
Well, it was like a traveling circus. You go and entertain people. And we did. I played from Bowie, Maryland, all the way out to Sacramento, California. And all in between, had a great sponsor. Guy from down in Lebanon, Tennessee. Of course, I had some local sponsors from around here, the teams I played on, but the ones that really spent the money on us was the guy from down in Lebanon, Tennessee. We he flew us pretty much wherever we wanted to go. If I couldn't get off from work, he'd fly me down there to play.
Jeez.
So it was a good experience. Made a lot of friends. I mean, from everywhere.
Okay, on the softball circuit, you said you traveled all around the United States and played.
Well, we played local. You know, we played in different classifications local in order to get to do that on the other level. And like I said, I played in World Series in different places.
Was Tommy White on those teams?
Tommy White and I played together for a number of years on this Lialco team.
Okay.
That we played on. And we traveled to Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, Cincinnati. You just about anywhere, the Carolinas, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida. We played all of this, and it was pretty much on weekends. You drove on Friday, or took a day off from work on Fridays to get there to play on Friday night. And it could be anywhere from 8 to 12 hour drive just to play a game of softball. And
I remember one year, it was more than 1 year, but they had a pretty good tournament in Loudon at one time.
Yes.
And I remember I was keeping the scorebook, and I think I remember you and Tommy both hitting softball home runs over the baseball field.
Yeah.
Baseball fence, rather. Y'all had some awesome power.
Yeah, and you know, it was fun, and in today's game they got these different bats that they use that's made out of different types of aluminum compared to what we were using. We were just using a plain aluminum bat, and they hype these bats up a little bit now that probably 150-pound man, 50-pound guy could hit one probably 350 feet now.
Really?
With some of these bats that they got now. And but it was fun. We traveled. We had fun. Had a great sponsor, and like I said, wives and kids traveled with us lots of times.
Okay. Now, once you started playing here locally, throw out some of the names that you played with around here.
Well, I started out probably playing with Smith Cheer Company here locally, and here for a while. Then went to Lenore City and played for Yale.
Okay.
Then went to Oak Ridge and played for Hamilton Bank and Solway. And then after I finished playing somewhat competitive in the semi-pro level, I come back and started getting my own teams together. And LUB sponsored us 1 year.
Okay.
Johnny James sponsored us a lot. Johnny was a great sponsor. And he was very proud of everything we brought to him, trophies and all. But we played well, and like everybody know that back then playing down in Philadelphia, that's where everybody wanted to go on during the week if there was good games. Going to be playing special if we play paint rock or somebody like that. A lot of people, a lot of good tournaments at the time was held down there.
Okay. Name some of your teammates. Throw out some names.
The ones that on the semi-pro team or the ones that I coached here locally?
The ones here local.
Well, I had Lonnie Hawkins, Boo Boo Hawkins, Gene Arnwine. Melvin played with us some, my brother. Stanley Blair.
Yeah.
Benny and Jeff Woods. Used to be Tank Brown.
Yeah.
And then it went on and on, you know. Then I picked up a few more. Then, but we played locally, played pretty good here for a long time.
Yeah. But let's go into your work years now. You said once you came back from K-State, you went to work at.
Yeah, well, I started out at Yellentown, and then I just decided, well, I need to look for something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Oak Ridge, and didn't know nobody over there. And the guy says, what can you do? I says, well, I can do whatever you ask me to do. And he said, who do you know? I said, I don't know anybody. He says, well, my name is Mr. C.R. King. He says, you know me. And he says, did the interview and sat and talked to him. And about like 2 months or 3 months, I was called over there, and I was hired in.
Was that at Y12?
That was at Y12.
Okay.
And I stayed out there for 42 years doing different jobs. I finally ended up left as a clerk. And like I said, did it for 42 years. And I actually think I stayed too long, 42 years.
That's a long time. Okay, so who had, looking back on your life, who had the greatest impact on your life?
Well, my mother, for one, and my sister, Ludi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of my older brothers and sisters, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And Coach Ratledge. Coach Ratledge had a big impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, a lot of people in Loudon, friends that knew Mom and my sister, as well as those that knew me, those was impacts that always stood out, that you respected and remembered.
Mm-hmm. So with those people making a difference in your life, you also you also went into football reffing, correct?
Yes.
How long did you do that?
I did that for 18 years.
What got you started with that?
Some of the guys that I worked with over in Oak Ridge, I played plant league softball, and some of the guys over there that was doing that, Bobby Hopkins was one of the guys that, he says, come on, says, I'm going to get you into officiating. So he got me in it, and I did that for 18 years. And it's kind of tough, you know, because like I said, this was, you're talking about the 70s.
Yeah.
And I had to go to Scott County, had to go to Oneida, had to go to Jellicoe, Coalfield, Oliver Springs, Oakdale, Wartburg, you name it. And of course I had Oak Ridge, Rockwood, and Kingston, but you know, those games, everybody didn't get those games every week.
Right.
And it was interesting. I never will forget. I guess it was my first time going to Oneida. We were walking around the field and just checking it out. Mm-hmm. And they got ready to play the national anthem. So we took our caps off and we was standing there by the fence, and this little white kid doing the national anthem, he come by me and he just rubbed me on the arm, and I just looked at him and I said, it won't come out. Just like that. But, you know, I guess it's just getting to know people and letting people see what life is really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so
it was funny.
You were in your 20s and 30s then,
yes,
when you were doing that.
Yes. But it was fun. It's crazy.
I bet it was. How do you want to be remembered?
Just as Arnold.
So who is Arnold?
I'm the guy that will do anything for you. We'll try to give you good advice if you want it. And I'm this guy that loved coaching kids at the time. Whether it was football, baseball, softball, basketball, spending time with kids, and letting them know that I care for you and I care for what your life is going to be one day.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, what are you most proud of?
You know, I've been blessed my whole life. Been blessed with a big family. And looking back, there was 10 and there ain't but 3 of us left now. And that's a blessing right there. And I guess the biggest thing to be proud of is to do the things that I did. And be in the different places that I was in and visited, knowing that I come back home.
Yeah. So, what does Loudon mean to you?
Loudon is home. The friendship, caring people, and the relationship that we have amongst each other here. Caring people, you know, with things going the way they are now, I don't know if it'll ever be the same like it is right now, but I've come through a very caring place here in Loudon.
So, what's it like to be a grandfather now?
It's these grandkids, they love me to death. I love them to death. And they want me to be some places I can't be.
Because you go most of the
most
games.
of the time, and it hurts their feelings when I say I can't come. But you know, there's just circumstances you can't come, you can't go.
Right.
But it's been an honor. There's nothing like it, to be honest with you.
Well, I want to thank you for this time, Arnold. I've enjoyed talking with you, and wish you the best.
Well, thank you for coming over.